didn't disappear all at once. It was gradual, like fog pulling away from the field in morning silence, like breath softening in a room that stopped feeling safe. You stopped replying so fast, stopped saying, "of course," when your whole body said no, stopped arriving for people who never arrived for you. And at first, they didn't notice, because availability had become your costume, your currency, your contract for being loved. But little by little, you started to vanish, not from life, but from the roles you never chose: the caretaker, the crisis responder, the emotional landfill, the one who always picks up, the one who never says, "not today." And when you pulled back, when you folded yourself inward, not to hide, but to heal, everything began to unravel, not because you left them, but because you finally stayed with yourself. You were trained to say yes, to be the one who holds space, who always has time, who never makes anyone uncomfortable. Your generosity was praised, your boundaries were punished, because the world will applaud your self-destruction if it benefits from your silence. Every time you said it's fine when it wasn't, every time you answered the phone while your spirit bled in the background, every time you stayed up late to fix, to soothe, to soften, you were confirming the lie that love must be earned by erasing yourself. You were never just being kind, you were being devoured, one slow yes at a time. And when the fatigue set in, when your soul began to rebel with anxiety and nausea and tears you couldn't explain, you didn't call it burnout. You called it failure, because no one taught you that exhaustion is the body's protest against a life it never agreed to. You learned how to disappear without ever leaving the room. You mastered the art of performance. Smile wide, be useful, don't ask for anything. But you broke anyway, not loudly, in small, sacred ways. You stopped laughing at things that weren't funny. You stopped nodding at demands that drained you. You stopped making yourself easier to love. And everything changed. They called it distance. They called it moodiness. They called it selfish. But it wasn't any of those things. It was survival. You had given so much of yourself away, you started to forget what you looked like when you weren't being consumed. So you stopped explaining. Stopped softening the edges of your truth. Stopped packaging your pain in polite words. And the people who only loved the version of you that served them, they started to disappear. Let them. Because when you stop being available, you start becoming real. You begin to remember what it feels like to choose yourself, to pause before saying yes, to ask, "What do I want?" and not feel shame for answering. The world taught you to be palatable, to be convenient, to make love easier for others, even if it meant making life harder for yourself. But now, you are building a different altar. One that doesn't worship sacrifice, one that honors truth, one that leaves space for your own goddamn needs. There is power in the no you whispered, even when your voice trembled, even when your hands shook, even when no one applauded you for setting yourself free. Peace doesn't always look pretty. Sometimes it looks like an empty calendar, a phone that doesn't ring, a night without obligations. And it feels wrong at first, because you were trained to be needed, to feel important only when you're exhausted. But peace isn't the absence of noise. It's the presence of self. The part of you that used to run toward chaos now stands still, not in fear, but in sacred refusal. You are no longer available to be misunderstood, to be tolerated, to be drained. You're only available to be loved in your wholeness, to be seen in your silence, to be chosen without performance. And if that means fewer people, fewer texts, fewer spotlights, so be it. You've given the world enough versions of you that weren't true. This one, the one resting, rising, rooted, she's staying. You are not cold. You are clearing. You are not selfish. You are sacred. You are not unavailable. You are finally present. To yourself, this isn't distance. It's devotion. And if they don't understand the way you're healing, let them go. This space you've entered, this silence you've chosen, this quiet inner altar you now return to each night, that's the sanctuary. And this channel, this voice, this moment right here, it's for the ones who've stopped being the hero in everyone else's story so they can finally become the soul in their own. You are allowed to be sacred. You are allowed to belong only to yourself.